Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today I need to put together a basket for a memorial service. So I'm starting out with just a wicker basket. This wicker basket has a plastic liner, and then I've taken 2/3 a block of fresh floral foam and I have taped it into place. So you can see where the tape comes across. I just spilt a little water, but I filled the reservoir with fresh water, and so it is ready. I'm going to start out with a little bit of palm. This is Robellini, or a small variety of Robellini palm. And I am going to make this a one-sided arrangement. So I'm going to take that Robellini and I am going to stick it as far back in that fresh floral foam as I can do it, as I can put it. And then I'm going to make just a fan-shaped arrangement. So you can see how I'm just going to make it a one-sided arrangement, and I'm going to remove some of these fronds. And I am going to just green it out all the way around. Now when you're working with fresh floral foam and you're making a one-sided arrangement, you want to go back as far back in that floral foam as you can. And the reason is because you need some weight on the back of the arrangement. If you don't put some weight back there, your flowers are going to want to tilt forward, and it's always important that you have your weight distributed correctly. Now, I found that that was not the easiest thing to do, and so it takes a little practice. But just be sure you start back as far as you can in the back, and it's going to help you. Hey Owen, I need a garbage can, please, sir. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in right here in the center. All right, so there is our Robellini. Now I'm going to turn around my arrangement, and I am going to be sure to cover that floral foam. So I'm going to take, and I just cut that that frond in half, that piece of greenery. I just cut it right in half because this is the back side, and really all we're doing is just trying to cover up that floral foam. And so cutting it in half gives me two pieces. Okay, so that's covered. Let's put a couple more pieces right here. Okay, so there's our mechanics are covered. So that's the reason I add that greenery there. I'm going to turn my arrangement around, and I'm going to come in with a little bit of myrtle. So myrtle is a tall piece of greenery that gives us a little bit of height. So myrtle comes in branches just like this, and I'm going to take that and I am going to use it to give us just a little bit of height in this arrangement. Being sure that I'm placing this foliage as far back in that foam as I can, just so that we can get that weight distributed. All right, so we just about got our greenery in our arrangement. Okay, I'm going to set this greenery over to the side. So there is our greened out arrangement. I do have some eucalyptus. I'm gonna wait and add it at the end just to give us a finishing touch, kind of a filler flower. So I'm gonna set it over here to the side. Next, I'm gonna come in with Bells of Ireland. So I have them laying out on my counter over here. So I have some pretty Bells of Ireland. Someone said the other day, you really like bells, and I really do. I really like bells. I think they give us a good bit of height, and I just think they're pretty. So I just took and pinched the tip out of this bell just because I think it looks better. I'm going to take that bell, I cut it at an angle, and I'm just tucking it deep into that foam toward the back. I take my next one, I'm just pinching this tip, and I'm stripping the bottom for blooms off. And I'm just tucking that right into that floral foam. Now I like to pinch the tips out of those bells because to me it looks better. But really it's completely up to you. I just think it gives it a cleaner look is the reason I like to pinch it out. So this is my height in this arrangement. All right. So there's our Bells of Ireland. You can kind of see that they're just kind of in the center of the arrangement. Next, I'm going to come in with some fuchsia purpley colored stock. So it's just a pretty fuchsia colored stock, and it smells so pretty. Well, it's wanting to lean on me, so readjust. Okay, so there is our stock tucked in. Next, I'm going to come in with some white hydrangeas. So I have some pretty white hydrangeas. I'm going to take. Hey Callie, have you got any quick dip in there?
Yes.
Ma'am? I'm going to take these white hydrangeas. I removed any of the foliage that was on the hydrangea. I'm going to take and dip it in quick dip. I'm going to count to about 7. And then I'm going to tuck it right into that floral foam. Take my next one, strip any of the foliage that's on that hydrangea. Now this quick dip is just a hydrating solution that helps keep those flowers hydrated. It just helps it drink. It promotes drinking so that the hydrangea will stay pretty and hydrated. All right, there's our hydrangeas in our arrangement. Next, I'm going to come in with some white daisies or cushion mums. Cushion mums are in the daisy family. It's not actually a traditional daisy. It's just a mum. So I'm going to take some of these. And I'm cutting each flower at an angle, inserting it deeply into that floral foam. When you go to arrange flowers with foam or in foam, be sure that you insert that flower very deep down into that foam. Now the reason is if you go too shallow, it's very likely that the flower will not stay in place during delivery. So be sure when you go to insert that flower that you insert it really deep. That way it's not going to come out. And so when you go to pull on it, you want to kind of tug on it just a smidge if it comes out pretty easily, it was not placed deep enough. So be sure you insert it very deeply so that it's not going to come loose. Next I'm going to come in with, I've got yellow Solidago filler. So I'm going to take, and that one doesn't look pretty, so I'm going to throw him away. I'm going to grab a couple more stems. So I grabbed a few stems of Solidago filler. So I'm going to take this Solidago, I'm going to cut it at an angle, and I'm going to tuck it right down into that floral foam, just like I have with all of the other flowers. Now this Solidago is just giving us a pretty filler flower and brightening up this arrangement a little bit. So I like to just strip that foliage off the bottom. And you just kind of fill in until it's pretty, wherever you think is a good spot for it. This tip is broken, so I'm just going to take and pinch that tip out. Okay, so there is our filler flower. Next we're going to come in with these really pretty, this is a carnival rose. It's a yellow rose with some orangey red tips. So we're going to take those roses. I'm going to take each individual rose. I'm using a little floral wire. I'm pressing it right into that calyx and twisting it around that stem. Now, because we're working with fresh floral foam, I always find people forget to water fresh floral foam because you don't see a water line, so it makes it a little harder. So I am just taking that wire and wiring each of those heads, and what that's going to do is just guarantee that those heads are gonna stay up and look pretty. So I like to wire my roses, and not all florists do, and that's completely okay. It's just something that gives me the peace of mind that I know I sent out a quality arrangement. These roses don't have thorns, so they are not biting me, so that makes it a little faster and a little easier to do. All right, so I have my roses wired. I tell you, I don't like where he's positioned, so I'm going to move in. There we go. I'm going to take that rose, cut it at an angle, and tuck him right into that arrangement. Cut it at an angle. All right. Lastly, what we're going to do is add just a little bit of that pretty eucalyptus, and it's going to just give us a little bit of movement in this arrangement, and it's just a really pretty color. It'll lighten it up just a little bit. So I'm going to take that eucalyptus, and the nice part is we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different pieces that'll work in this arrangement. So I just kind of broke it off, and I'm just going to tuck it right down in. It's always nice when you've got several pieces that you can cut off and insert right into the arrangement. All right, guys, well, there is our funeral basket. So it's a memorial service that this basket will go to, but it's just a bright floral basket for a memorial service. Thank you so much for being here today and watching this video. If you have any questions about how I designed this arrangement or any of our designs at all, please be sure to ask those in the comments down below. We'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. And if you have any questions about the flower shop overall, we're happy to answer those too. Guys, we hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and we will see you real soon. If you would, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that little bell down below, and you'll get notifications for when we put up a new video. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you real soon.